Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Home Gardening 480. Today is Saturday the 18th March, and it's sorry for the wind. You can see there the flag over there is showing us that the wind is pretty strong. So we are going to do a update on the garden, and I'm gonna have Sonia go ahead and take it from here.
Good morning. We decided we were going to do a garden tour today, so there's a lot of things happening. Remember back at the beginning of February we pruned the grapes, and now they're starting to, I'm not sure if that's gonna, you can hear me or not, the wind is blowing on the mic, starting to come out with their leaves. What I am going to do is come down here and kind of take those off, keep it from leafing down here, because I don't want a bunch of growth from the bottom. I want to kind of manage where it's growing from. I might come back and take those off, but we'll see. This red flame grape here, I would say it's was maybe 2 weeks ahead of those other grapes. Budding out with its new leaves. They're looking very, very good. It had a better kind of a center stem to grow from to begin with, so looks good. This last grape, it's got a little bud right here, a little bud right here. I don't see any on this one yet, but it's a little behind, but that's okay. But otherwise, come on over and look at this fig tree. This is that Violet de Bordeaux fig tree that we picked up from Tractor Supply about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks, month. It's already got new growth on it. When we got it, it was totally bare. Looks good. The blackberry that we planted a couple weeks ago is already shooting up. Looks really good so far. Nice new growth there. The fig this is the fig that we planted, I want to say December. This is a variety called Little Miss Figgy. It's a dwarf variety. The buds have started to break, and we're getting the leaves out here. Here we go. This is our Sweet Bay laurel that we got. It came in like a 4-inch pot. We planted it, and then it didn't do anything because of the winter, but it's got new budding growth here. Hopefully it does well. I'll pull that leaf out there. And then this was our Texas mountain laurel that we transplanted. I had it kind of near the mailbox. Looks like the top is going to die back, but the bottom's still alive, so we might be able to nurse it back up. Come look at this carrot and lettuce bed. So it's been, almost a month or just over a month. We planted all these little baby lettuces here, and you can see some of them are just big already. Need to clip them. And then we came a couple weeks ago and planted some radish seeds in between. They're having a little bit harder time because the lettuce already got big. And then the carrots are just, they're already big here at the base. But if I kind of dig down with my finger at the shoulder of the carrot, they're not really that big of carrots yet, so they still need more time. They're not, I don't have a shoulder yet. Do you see that? It's hard to see. Go over, get out of the light.
There?
Right down here. So there's not really a shoulder of a carrot yet. It just goes straight down from the leaves. So it's not ready to pull yet, at least not that one. Now look at this one here. You can see it's starting to get there, but not quite yet. But the tops are looking really good. So the good news is I don't need to pull all the stuff out of this bed till early mid-April. So I've got maybe 3 or 4 more weeks where I can leave all the stuff in this bed. So some of the radishes are doing pretty good. Some of them are getting a little more shade than I expected. When we planted these radishes, these carrots were, maybe half the size. They just popped on us. So the lettuce, look at this lettuce here. This is that Bib lettuce. Very nice little red coloration variation on the leaves. Very good looking. This is some romaine. Anyway, the radishes are in between in rows. Here you can see there's radishes in between. Like I said, they're getting shaded out a bit, but they'll be okay. But these are doing great. These are the broccoli that we had planted. So hopefully we'll get some little broccolis before we have to cut them out. This is the Sun King variety. It's supposed to be heat tolerant. So we'll see how long it'll go. Now if you look at this bed, those carrots down there are a lot bigger than these carrots down here. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but for some reason these ones kind of in this section right here in the middle, not quite as big as these ones on the end for whatever reason. But anyway, this strawberry bed, we planted these 3-4 weeks ago. They're doing great. I think we ended up with 30 plants. I had ordered a set of 25. They gave us extras. I think we had 30 total that we planted. Out of the 30, I think this one, I'm not sure if it's gonna go or not, but I think it's just this one that hasn't budded out with leaves yet. Then we went to Lowe's and bought a pack of 10 that they had on the shelf, their little live plant shelf. So far I've got 1, 2, 3 that are budding out with new leaves. Still waiting on these other ones to pop up on us. Not sure if it's going to work out, but
What are those?
these are some sunflowers that I started. This is a variety called Solar. I want to say Solar. They get maybe 3 feet tall, and I had to find a place for them, and I just decided I had this extra room next to the blueberries, so I put them here. And by the way, the blueberries are already leafing out with their new leaves. All of this right here or almost all of it is new growth. If you look back at the other videos, they were pretty sparse looking, but a lot of new growth here. Yeah, so what we did here was we cut a notch in the top of the pot so that a little bit of water would flow out or in if it got too much, but just a notch right at the top. Again, the pots are sunk down in the ground, and then there's kind of like a mini French drain below with a couple inches of gravel to make sure that they drain. And when we get some more room, we might move them, but there's a little rock in there. All right, so this is the bed we have leeks on one side here, spinach on the other side. What we came and did was we put tomatoes here. We had a couple tomatoes that died here. I'm gonna have to replace them. I've got some growing inside, but we also have a few open spots that we had when we planted them that we got to go to the nursery. I was gonna start some new ones, but I just didn't. We don't have time. This spinach, I'm gonna have to come and harvest it. You see how big these leaves are? Look at this. Look at that spinach leaf. That's
a massive leaf.
Yeah. Check that out.
That's a good looking leaf too.
Yeah, so chop that up, put in a salad or whatever. Soup, salad, whatnot. I'll hold on to that. So the tomatoes are finally what I would call recovered. We're gonna put some stakes on this bed and do like a Florida weave, or we might do like a hanging trellis design, but we've got the stakes. We just need to do it, put it up there. Again, there weren't any planted right here, and we had a couple little ones that died, but so far these ones have made a comeback. They seem to be doing pretty good. These are, yep. So here we had the bunching onions here that we had planted, and then we put potatoes on the side here, and you can see, I think that's a potato. Coming up. So we put them on the side here. We'll have, there's probably that's another one.
Where you see
yep. The little bumps. There's another one right there. Anyway, potatoes. And then on the left side of this bed, we put some yellow wax beans just earlier this week, so they're not up yet, but they'll be coming up soon. We got a lot of rain 2 days ago, so I know it looks kind of dry right now, but trust me, they got a lot of rain just a couple days ago. All right, now we're over here at the second peas bed. Got some nice looking peas. Need to come out and pick those right before we're gonna eat them. And look at that turnip. Got a good turnip right here. I'm gonna pull it. Good looking little turnip. This is maybe 2 inch, a little over 2 inch diameter. Looks really, really good. And the turnip is edible. The turnip greens are edible. Yep, go from there. Now come on over to the other side. We've got the rutabagas growing over there. Now I planted these a couple weeks after the turnips, but I've got a set here that just kind of went really, really big so far. Very similar to the turnip. They're working on their bulb, but yeah, really nice looking turnips here. The peas, I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the peas. I don't know if this is disease, this yellowing, or what, or if they got frosted, because a couple 5-6 weeks ago we had a little frost. I'm not sure, but they're still making peas. So.
Even though it's yellow,
yeah,
it's still making peas.
And we got some that are green here, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on. These are disease-resistant varieties, so I'm very confused. Anyway, come on. Let us know in the comments if you have anything to share. Here we go. We got arugula. I had to come through and just cut this with scissors because it was already this tall. We've got carrots on the back here. They're doing great as well. Again, the peas. We've already come through and harvested a couple times. I got to tell you what, it takes a lot of peas to get a good bowl of peas. So maybe I should just plant double the peas next time.
Because we had the kids help us.
Yeah, and look, that's a really good, nice, plump set. Probably 7 peas in there. That looks really, really pretty right there. Now, don't pick them until you're ready to eat them, because they start to turn to starch. The sugar turns to starch almost immediately. Here we've got this Roma lettuce. Oh, this one needs to be picked. It's very good looking. This one here, I had already picked one there. Some more heads here that are almost, they're just ready to be picked. Come on down here. These onions are looking really good. They're starting to get fat at the bottom, so bulbs are coming. The celery was very short for a while, and it was just spreading out sideways, but finally getting this celery to grow up and tall. I had done some reading. I'm not going to put any tubes around them to blanch them. I'm just going to let them do their thing. But they're now starting to grow up and get tall. So finally getting something that looks similar to the store. Anyway, come on over to this next bed. We've got garlic here on this end. And then down here at this end, we got a little bit of extra onions. In the middle, we put some bush beans. Like I said earlier this week, they're not up yet. I don't see any up yet, so a few more days, they'll start coming up. And then over here are peppers. Most of the peppers seem to be doing pretty good. We got a few down here that are having a little bit hard time. I came and planted some sunflowers in between. Needed a good spot. Figured they would do pretty well here. I might plant some other flowers here on the back. Now up to the herb garden. I decided I want a little extra rosemary, so I bought this little one, but you can see this where we trimmed it back. It's already got good new growth. You want that softer, less woody rosemary for cooking. Anyway, you can see all the floppy little tails there. This parsley, I've got several little sets of parsley here, doing very good. Cilantro here, I've already clipped several center heads as it's trying to bolt on me. It's not even that hot yet, so I'm perplexed, but just clipping out that center head. And then right here in the back, the oregano, it was flatter, but it just seems to be growing up very well. You know, I didn't see it do this much when I had it in the pot, so it must be really liking being in a bed like this. And then we've got these chives. You can see there's a little flower starting to come up from there. And then I've got a few little baby chives planted here. I've got a little row of them back here, and then back there in the back you can't really see it. But I earlier this week, or I should I say last Sunday, came and planted a few of these basil starts that I had done in the house out here. And I did a few rows of direct seeded basil, so that hasn't come up yet. But here we've got some marigolds that, look, there's one with a flower. These had, I had planted them in here, but some of these were just accidental seedings. These are zinnias, a row of zinnias right here, and then a row of dahlias right here. No. These are these are dahlias, and these are sunflowers called Incredible. It's a variety that only gets 18 inches tall, so maybe this tall, maybe a little bit taller, but very short variety. So flowers up here, hopefully they do well. The sage and thyme, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a weed or what. Anyway, the sage is doing great. Nice big sage. And the thyme that we had started, this thyme was so small when I planted it, but it seems to be doing just great now. Nice little mini bushes. So anyway, we're going to pause this and we're going to go to the backyard real quick and show you the fruit trees.
I was going to say something about the thyme. Yesterday was the first time I actually stopped and paid attention to them and noticed them that they have actually, I seen the difference in the growth. They were dormant for a while, I will say. They were very slow growing, and suddenly they just took off, and that's what I like to see. I like to see them like this, because now I can tell that the growth in them. Because for some time I was thinking they were not going to make it.
Yeah, they were just
suddenly they took off.
They were really small like this for a long time, and then they just kind of took off.
So we're going to head out to the backyard.
This is our Lisbon lemon. We planted this in the back corner. It's got blossoms all over it. I already got a little look right here. Lemon right there. For the most part, it's done very well. I think that it must have gotten a little bit of frost there, but all the other tips look really good. Lots of flowers on this one. All right, this is our mid-pride peach. You can see there's lots of buds, flowers. We're kind of crossing over on this one. Very very good number of blossoms. Want to point out here we've got a gopher that decided to come over here, and got some traps. I'm gonna kill him dead before he kills my tree. Over here, this is called Ava's Pride. Ava's Pride bloomed about 2 weeks earlier than Mid Pride, and if you look right here, here's a baby peach, and look, here's another baby peach right here. That one's a bit bigger. See that?
Yep.
That fuzzy white thing. There's a few other ones on this one. Not as many flowers on this one this year, but about 2 weeks ahead of that Mid Pride peach. Now here we have Mineola Tangelo. Starting to get buds here for blossoms. Hadn't blossomed yet, so we're just coming out with some buds here. Hopefully we'll get a good number. All right, this is a Valencia orange. Again, pretty small blossoms starting to come up here. Those are the baby blossoms, so hopefully we'll get a good number out of this one. Oh wait, here's right down here, look. There they are. Okay. Let me just point out the pomegranate. This one is called Red Wonderful. I was worried when we planted it because about a couple weeks after we planted it, it lost all its leaves, but obviously it's not dead. It's back. Here we are. This one, what do we got here? This is the Clementine Mandarin. A little bit of stress, some yellowing of the leaves. You can see there's some blossoms here coming out a little bit behind that Valencia. Not any big ones yet. And then over here, this one is the Bear's Lime. Bear's Lime is supposed to not have any seeds in the lime. I don't see any bloom baby buds for blossom yet.
Right
Where?
there.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Few there. Okay. And then the last citrus tree that we have is the Trovita Orange. This is one of those Arizona sweet varieties. Little buds here. There's a bunch of buds here. I maybe 2 weeks ago came out here and sprinkled a decent amount of citrus balanced fertilizer for all these trees. So hopefully we'll do one more big fertilizing, and then maybe midsummer, and then we'll be good. The mesquite trees lost their leaves, but they're coming back, and we'll see these soon.
Okay. All right, so that's what we have for you guys today. Thank you guys for joining us on our update of our garden, and we'll see you guys on our next video.